into another NBA edition with the OG crew. Look at that. I got it together for today. And we got everybody. We got our guy Dutchy back in the building today. So full squad. We only have a short card for today, but we will look ahead to tomorrow. And as always, I'm gonna go around the horn. I'm gonna come to you first, Wham Bam. How's it's been a little while since we talked. How's the NBA been treating you? How you doing today?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I got to give a big first shout out to my son. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Little Wham
Little
Zaire,
Wham.
Family, right?
the fifth honorary host of the OG show. He definitely slides in every once in a while yelling at us. So, yeah, man, shout out to him. But, yeah, man, I had a great weekend, bro. It was great. We did call the Michigan play. That was a good play right there. We did it up there. Got smoked, though, and in the NBA. I think I went head up with you with OKC, and you got me there. And then other than that, it was cool. Other than that, it was cool though. I really got that money though with the Michigan, so it was all good there. Shout out to Jai T. Shout out to him. You already know. Shout out to Dan Kelly. Shout out to all the people over there. Bryce Miller. Shout out to all my people. Shout out to Dan Kelly, Justin. Giving my man a happy birthday there. Nucky as well. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. That's all love, man. All love to the chat. We couldn't do this without y'all, man, for sure.
Lil Wham got a Caillou doll for Christmas or for
No way.
Yeah, happy birthday, Lil Wham. Everybody's saying it in the chat. Babano, how's everything for you? How you feeling today?
Yeah, really good. Sad to see college football end, but NBA last night, I did, even though I know that was the headline, but NBA was a big card last night. Went pretty well. Luckiest win ever for me with the Chicago Bulls last night. We laid 6 with them against Charlotte, and they snuck one out for us, winning by 7 on the road. That was good to see. We had, it's weird. I had Oklahoma City minus 9.5, which didn't cover, but I had their team total over 128.5. So we got a split with those two last night. So Clippers and Suns went over the total. So it was a pretty good Monday night. Nice card tonight. A couple of plays I really like on this card tonight. So looking forward to it.
Hopefully we line up because it's a pretty ugly card, but I know you like some of those ugly dogs. So we'll see. I like an ugly dog today too. So we'll see if we line up there. Shout out to Tasha. I know I put it up on the screen, but Tasha became a new member. Appreciate you. I know you tap in every day, and glad to see you become a member. Dutch, glad to have you back. And it's been a week since we've seen you. How's the NBA been for you? What's good with you?
Yeah, man. Hey, the NBA is a hell of a drug. Hey, looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. Hey, man, this shit, I need to keep my ass on the NBA because I start fucking around trying to act like I'm a college football capper. And look what the fuck happened, goddamn it. I should have listened to the Trout Wham, Razor Sharp picks. Man, they were seeing blue. I was seeing purple for some goddamn reason. And it was not gold. It was not gold, but hey, but we take it on the chin. We stand on it. NBA yesterday. It was actually a beautiful thing, but I treaded lightly because I was so focused on that goddamn football game. I did have the Pacers plus 3.5. Shout out to our guy Connor Mack, came on the session, blessed us, broke it down like a pound, and won outright without Holly. And shouts out to Holly. Seems like 2 weeks. I guess the news is 7 to 10 days. Like he'll be good. He'll be all right, Wham. He'll be all right. Okay, So obviously we're wishing the best for him. One hell of a season. And I hate to see anybody get hurt, let alone someone the caliber of Hallie, So, but they got it done. So I was happy about that. If you watched the show yesterday morning, man, I said it, man. Utah plus 8.5 was good money. They went outright, Miami, the Heat too. I was like, damn, -4. That seems real low. They handle business in South Beach. And then me and Wham Bam, we kind of talked about a little bit too with the Suns and the Clippers. It was clearly a Clipper spot. And goddamn, come fourth quarter, I mean that shit was it a 30 piece in the fourth quarter, somewhat close. And
Crazy.
Then in that fourth quarter, the Clippers really put it on them. And if you've seen the stat I retweeted today about the Suns, man, it's fucking insane. It really is. I mean, they're plus first quarter, plus second quarter, plus third quarter, and minus 131 in the fourth quarter. Then they're obviously top heavy, and goddamn, they are tiring out when it counts, and that's hard to believe when you got some clutch guys like Devin Booker and KD. that you're getting outperformed like that in money time. So, this card today, though, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's like the day shit, man. It's like the day shit that the motherfucking Rhino. We have to dig through it to find something appealing. But we'll get to it, especially with the fellas. We'll break it down. And I like one play so far, and looking at 2 other ones. But I'm eager to listen to what you guys got to say and what the chat's got to say. So let me get some money, man.
Let's get it.
Let's talk it out like we always do. And we'll go in rotation order like, per usual. We'll start with 539, 540. That is Sacramento Kings heading into Detroit. This game opened up Kings minus 10.5. They're now 11-point favorites. Total open 242.5. And currently 241 is a consensus. For an injury report, and I will hit the refresh because you guys know it changes constantly. For the Kings, I don't see anybody on there. For the Pistons, they'll be without Cade for a little bit. Monte Morris also out, along with Isaiah Stewart. So both of these teams are on the front end of a back-to-back. Sacramento has Charlotte tomorrow. Detroit has San Antonio tomorrow. Pretty big point spread. I'm coming to you here, Dutch. Pretty big point spread for your favorite team. And the Pistons have been playing a little bit better now against the number. Can they continue to do it without Cade?
Listen to your ass talk about Sacramento, my favorite team. You know, motherfucker, I know that laid 16.5 of these motherfuckers. What the fuck you doing? Come on, man. I know you smoking good, but goddamn, Kings up. Kings the fuck up. But yeah, man, they kind of hit a little hiccup of late. And I'm a big De'Aaron Fox guy. I am, I'm a big De'Aaron Fox. I think Sabonis is one of the nicer things we got going all around down low. Could be a little bit tougher. And that's something that I do notice in Sacramento, especially when they run into New Orleans. Take note, motherfucker. Take notes. They are the worst matchup for the Pelicanos. I mean, they were laying 3.5, 4 points against the Pelicanos the other night. No Zion. Obviously, no Alvarado off the bench, but no Zion was big. And they just punked them, man. They just punked them. So the big worry I have with Sacramento is their toughness. I love De'Aaron Fox, clutch in the fourth, but you got to question the toughness a little bit. So do you want to go on the road and lay double digits? Not big in laying double digits, especially on the road. And the Sacramento team that's pissed off. I mean, they got punked by 30 at the crib. Really have not played that good of basketball, losing outright to Charlotte. This last week to 10 days have not been playing their best basketball. So maybe it's a get right spot against the Detroit Pistons team where everyone in the NBA usually gets right. Now they have won a couple games of late, fuck around, but when they lose by double digits. So if you expect the Pistons to lose this game, which I do, you got to take the Kings, I believe, to cover it. But Tasha did say it, it's a backwood game. I want to get to the window with Sacramento here. I feel like first quarter, first half, full game, it should be Sacramento. It's clearly a King spot. They do play tomorrow, though. But, yeah, man, if I had to bet it, it would be Sacramento all the way. But I'm not really comfortable with what I'm seeing. And one thing I will say about Detroit is they do have some bangers. Durant, Stewart, they can bang a little bit. Maybe out rebound them, keep them in this game a little bit. But it's Sacramento, nothing for me.
Well, Saturated in the chat likes Durant over 25 points plus rebounds. It should be a good amount of rebounds available. But Bano, you said you liked a lot on this card, and we know you're not scared to go ugly. Would this happen to be one of those ugly dogs that you like?
Yeah, I guess I'm off this game. Actually, I don't like it at all. Quite honestly, I'd lean Detroit based on where the number is, but they're coming off a road trip out west, and it's not a spot I like to back teams in necessarily. They are starting to cover. I just worry about them in this spot. Sacramento's coming off a blowout home loss to the Pelicans, and they'll be looking to atone for that. And if you actually look at series history, this has been road dominated. Sacramento's won and covered in Detroit over and over again. And Detroit's actually covered a couple of times in Sacramento. So it's been the road team has been dominating here pretty much. So I don't necessarily want to fade Sacramento in this spot, but it's too many points to lay, and I don't trust Detroit off the road trip, so it's a pass. Keep in mind, though, I think after this game, I'll be looking to fade Sacramento, and I'll probably be looking to back Detroit because I do think, they are starting to cover some numbers. I just don't love them in this spot. Sacramento's not playing well. You look at them. They barely beat Orlando. And don't be fooled by that Toronto game. That was unbelievable. They were making every 3-point shot in that game. Murray and Trey Lyles off the bench is making every three. And it was ridiculous. I mean, if they're not shooting 55% from 3-point range against Toronto, they would have lost that game outright. So don't be fooled by that. They have not been playing well. I don't want to lay this many with them, but it's a brutal spot for Detroit off a long road trip. So it's a game I'm staying off.
Don't have to touch every game. That's all right. Top set in the chat, liking those ugly Pistons. Wham Bam. I agree with another comment here. I agree with 2 comments. I agree with some of this comment.
I agree with that one.
Can't back the Killian Hayes Pistons. I mean, Killian Hayes is terrible.
Never.
And they already
so bad.
minus.
Asking who? Yeah.
Never.
I'm like, who the fuck is this
Never.
Oh yeah,
Never.
that guy.
Yeah.
And then they're minus Cade now.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I
They've
think
been carrying their ass to being competitive in a lot of
Kane was damn near getting 30, no?
Listen. So
Ivy.
right. Like, okay, so we need to look at I agree with you, Luke. Luke be out here crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Luke be going crazy. But I agree with you right here, Luke. I think Ivy has to be the player here. He actually played against this team twice. One time he had 24 points. And in that game, he had 4 for 3. He was able to do it up. So I did look at Jaden Ivey in this spot because he's the guy that you would think gets all the damn looks because he's a high draft pick. He's one of those guys that they still need to develop. And, this team is obviously continuing to tank, and Kate was the guy for them, like you were saying, that he was really going crazy. What was it? 21 points he was averaging, 8 assists over the last 6 games, just going crazy, bro. And then, I think this means more than it does for Ja and them. I think the loss with Ja is obviously crazy, but to lose Kate like this after losing them again, I think this team knows that this team is going to get crazy. Like, it's going to get shuffled up. It's not going to be the same probably even after the damn trade deadline. So I think this is going to be a different team even after then. Some of these guys are going to be auditioning. I think that is just Jaden Ivey's spot there. If you like the Detroit Pistons, I think you go Jaden Ivey, Marvin Bagley, or something, or Bergeron, something of that sort. But I'm going to go Sacramento here. I think this is free stats accumulated for these guys. Like you said, they're all available. They're making lineup adjustments by starting Kevin Huerter, the boy Red Mamba. They got the boy coming in there. He's been trash lately. He's been shooting terrible, like 25% from 3 type shit, over the last week. And I honestly think that if he gets back into form, if they really have confidence in him and give him that confidence against this type team, free stats is accumulated type shit, this is a good chance for them to get back right. So it's a road to road for the Kings. If you want to fade the Kings, don't do it right now against the Pistons. Wait until your next game. You know what I'm saying? Till tomorrow. So I think the Kings is live here. I'm taking the Kings minus 11. That's one I'm on officially. And if I had any free plays on props, I probably would be directing them to Detroit. Most likely I'll be just thinking Jaden Ivey, like you guys were saying. I think he is a points, rebound, and assist type guy tonight. And he probably gets up for Detroit.
Good stuff. I don't think I'll be getting involved in this game, but if I was, Ivy sounds damn good. I mean, I don't trust Killian Hayes with my money for anything. So if I'm even considering the Pistons, I think Ivy has something, to do with it. Let's keep moving. Next game up, we have 5. I didn't hear what you said. My bad.
I was saying his own coach don't even like him, bro. It's hard to go to the window with Ivy, man. His own coach don't even like his
right. Yeah, that'd be true. That'd be true too.
Yeah.
He got to get it now, though. They know the scouting report. That's what I'm saying. So they know he had a good game against them. They had those numbers just as much as we do. They have those numbers too. So they better be looking at that shit at least.
We'll see how it shakes out. 541, 542. Minnesota Timberwolves facing the Orlando Magic. This game opened up T-Wolves -4. They are now 5 or 5.5. Total open 220 and is down to 217. Injury report: Clark out for Minnesota. Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris, Joe Ingles, Jonathan Isaac, Schofield, Wagner, all out for this Magic team. There was, and I'm gonna come to you on this one, Wham Bam. But there was a comment in there, and I think it was from Mr. Dan Kelly a while ago. He said there's a few teams playing 6 days. There it is. 3 teams playing 6th game in 10 days, and Orlando is one of them. So they are very short-handed, missing a good amount of bodies, but there's somebody in the lineup you think is going to have some success, isn't it?
Yeah, and honestly, like as much as Dan Kelly is totally right, he's totally right. And Mo Wagner is going to be playing a lot of minutes tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't really, Mo Wagner, I'm thinking Gary Harris too. Gary Harris probably neither here nor there. But as far as like the props that I'm having official play here on, it's going to be the guy that's been leading this team all the way around, Paolo Banchero. I know Saturated likes the under points. He likes the over for Ant. I think no way you can think that this boy Paulo is gonna go over under his points here. He's averaging 30.4 points over the last 7 games, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. He's been clearing over this 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which now has been going opposite. It's something's telling me that the books do not want you to bet the over. They're making it plus 118. I got it at minus 114 last night. I'm not gonna lie. When I see it at plus 118 right now, that type of move, it's kind of hard for me to really go and endorse this as a high as I want to, just because the line moving is totally against me here. But I'm not gonna lie. I think this is just kind of fool's gold. I think they're trying to tell us that Paolo Banchero is not the youngest guy on this team or some shit. Like he's gonna be tired or some shit. Like I don't think that. I think he's going to be still dialed in. This is a game that they continue to start to go in and go off on. Minnesota is known for having really good defense, a really good team. It is going to be a little bit harder for him to get rebounds. It is going to be a little bit harder for him to get inside for sure. But I think he's still going to be able to do everything, especially without those guys that my guy Skee just mentioned. They have nobody there. Who else are they going to rely on? It has to be Paolo. So I think Paolo has a good night tonight. I do think if you do want to go elsewhere, I know they may lean a little bit heavier on Markel Fultz, even though he played very low minutes last game. They may lean on him a little bit more this time. They may lean on Jalen Suggs, who Jalen Suggs has been getting a little bit heavier dosage. I'm not trying to bet Jalen Suggs unless it's the Raptors. So I'm stay away from Jalen Suggs. I'm going to just stick to Paolo here. I'm taking Paolo Banchero, points, rebounds, and assists. Plus, it's plus money right now, plus 118. 42.5, man. Listen, I don't have no problem with the line movement. I'm still thinking this is a good play. He's been clearing this lately over the last 6 games, man. I'm taking that.
Wham Bam rolling with Paolo up and over, and I can't argue against it. I'm coming to Babano here next, and I know when it's a Timberwolves game, I got to make a little bit of a case for Babano for that side. But I think he likes the Magic too. So what I'll say before I pass it to you, Babano, is yes, the Magic have been playing a lot of games. Yes, the Magic have even played a couple of overtime games lately. But something that Wham said there, I agree with. I mean, these guys are young. I mean, just think about yourself. I mean, obviously they're in better shape as athletes and professional, but when you were younger, you could play all day. I think about when I was younger, I used to be in the gym playing hours on hours on hours on hours and never be tired. These guys are young. I don't think it's going to bother them too much to have to go out here and play again. Do you, Babano? And do you think Minnesota possibly could look ahead to Boston tomorrow?
Yes, and I like Orlando here, even with the injuries that they've got right now. And they've got a lot: Franz Wagner, Isaac, Ingles, Harris, Carter. That's a lot. But this is a very mentally tough and a very resilient team. Very hardworking. They've overcome a bunch of challenges and other injury setbacks this year. Like they have had a lot of different lineup combinations this year with the changing dynamic of their starting 5 most nights. And here they are at 21-15. Here they are at 8-2 against the spread their last 10 games. And here they are 13-4 straight up on their home court. And we're giving them 5.5 points now here as home underdogs here against the Minnesota team that, look, I don't want to say they plateaued early, They peaked early, but they're not playing the basketball now that they did in October and November and early December. They're not playing at that level right now, Minnesota. They've been a overvalued commodity, 1-6 against the number of their last 7. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Now, granted, to good competition, New York, New Orleans, Dallas, those aren't terrible losses, but they're struggling right now. And on the road, they've not exactly been anything to write home about of late, other than a win against Houston. They lose to Dallas, New York, Oklahoma City, Philadelphia. So it's been rough sledding for them away from home. I just think now we're making too much of an adjustment toward who's out for Orlando, and we're forgetting who's in. And WAM mentioned him, Paolo Banchero. As long as you got that guy on the court, you're going to have a chance to compete night in and night out. And I think now we've got a situation where you got one overvalued commodity, one undervalued commodity. Give me the undervalued commodity.
Taking it
on that. I like it. I like that Orlando side. And getting some questions about the total, asking about, under. I think right now he's saying under. I would agree with an under more than over, just because neither team is playing with pace. Both bottom 10 last 5 games. Both defenses in the same span have also been better than the offense, and both teams top 10 defending the 3. So I would agree, if I'm playing the total, I would go under. Coming to you here, Dutch, I have a feeling you feel a little bit different about this game. But Minnesota, what are they? They've covered one of their last 7 games. Do you think this is the one where they start to get back on track here?
You damn right I feel a little bit different about this motherfucking basketball game. God damn. Shit. Last in the rotation. Is there anything left? Oh yeah, let's go. All right. So one thing y'all motherfuckers got, and I will say it's a red flag, is that they play Boston tomorrow. But I could also look at that and say they better win tonight, because they got the boys tomorrow night. And they already lost 3 of the last 4. You talked about it. I mean, Pelicanos, the Knickerbockers. Minnesota, though, to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There's levels to this shit. I just think they're on another level than Orlando Magic. I really do. I'm not high on this basketball team. They're gritty, very impressive win. The more impressive win to me, I'll be quite honest with you, was the win after beating Denver in Denver. We knew it was going to be a Magic spot with everyone out. They go there, they beat them, 9.5-point dogs. After Joker hit, Denver does what they do in Golden State. To come back, they win outright in Denver, 9.5-point dogs, expecting a letdown spot, especially with guys out. First game back at the crib, and you beat Atlanta. Say what you will about Atlanta, but we know they could put the ball in the bucket. So that was an impressive win to me. But this has to be a tired basketball team, man. I mean, first of all, they don't got a lot of their guys. And yeah, they're young, man, but goddamn, I mean, competition is gonna competition and travel. That's one thing you didn't mention, Skee. Your ass wasn't fucking on a flight every goddamn night when you're playing basketball, most likely. Wasn't traveling to different cities every fucking night, most likely. So let's talk about it. They played Atlanta, they played Denver, they played Sacramento, they played Golden State. And most of these games were all on the road, but just the competition alone. They played Phoenix, New York, and Philadelphia. Those are the last 7 basketball games. Those are all tough basketball games, in my opinion. Say what you will about Sacramento, but it was in Sacramento, in a Sacramento spot, and Orlando, played them very tough. I believe that game went to double overtime. So, what you talk about all them overtimes. I mean, this team's played a couple overtime games, tough ass competition, and they're missing a lot of their guys. And you get Minnesota. Really, all you can say is they play Boston tomorrow, because they should be pissed the fuck off. They just got beat by Dallas. They got punked by the Pelicanos. Like, this should be a pissed off basketball team, and I believe the best player on the court. A lot of talk about Banchero, but did we forget about Ant-Man? I mean, Anthony Edwards should have something to say about this basketball game tonight, and I think Gobert is going to give your boy Banchero a little bit of problems as well. Probably why the juice is on that side, and I think Cat, we don't know about Cap. We'll see about Cap. But if he can at least show the fuck up, goddamn it, it's good money. But yeah, man, I don't know about laying 5 on the road here, but talking this shit out, honestly, and just hearing it, honestly, I know you guys are on their side, but just hearing what I'm hearing, like, I think Minnesota's the side here, man. So I nothing official yet, but I think I should go to the window here with the Timberwolves. A lot of love for the Magic, and I know they're covering off a lot of basketball games here, but I believe we got a pissed off Minnesota team who shouldn't be looking ahead to Boston. They need to win a basketball game, in my opinion. So, I believe I'm the only one. I'm solo here. Ram Bam, did you like the Magic too?
Big time, bro. Big time.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. And Skee going to the window with the Magic. I could hear how he said it.
Yeah.
Well, remember, it's not
Well-
just win; it's win by margin. We're not saying Minnesota's -1.5 here. This is -5.5.
No, I know,
This
and
is
that's
win
why
by
I haven't
margin.
pulled the trigger yet. Because if it was 2.5 or 3, I would already been on raised by Wolves. And the 5, I hesitate me a little bit. But I think it's that number for a reason. And obviously, they do play Boston tomorrow, which I mean, you do kind of have to take that into consideration. Go ahead, Scott.
So a couple of different things. First, I'll just start and say or ask. I mean, what do you think the line is supposed to be in this game? That's kind of because you have the Magic minus a lot of guys tonight, right?
Right.
Like everybody talked about, they're pretty bare. They're missing everybody, and they played so many games in a short time frame. So missing a lot of guys, not very well rested, versus a team not really having anybody on the injury report. What's the line supposed to be in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the line should be where it's at due to the injury. I just wanted 2.5 or 3, but obviously all these fucking guys out for Orlando, and Orlando always gets a good number, they really do. That's probably why a lot of people bet them all the fucking time.
And the next thing I wanted to say is, I mean, you wanted to talk about who's traveling all over the place. If I'm not mistaken, Orlando plays at home today, and
I know, but they've been traveling, motherfucker. They've been traveling.
Right. Hey, Timberwolves have had to travel every single game so far this year. Every single game. Orlando's at home tonight, and they were at home last game. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's levels. Maybe it's not. We'll see if Orlando can hang in this game, but let's keep it moving. And next game up.
Fucking Magic, man.
Hey, they've been good to me. Don't you give me that. They've been good to me profit-wise. Really good.
I knew Bobano was going to be all over the Magic tonight. I knew that,
25 and 11 against the spread. Clearly, betting markets have been wrong about Orlando all season long. I'm willing to bet they're wrong again tonight.
One more thing I wanted to say, too, before we move on. Minnesota, I mean, I kind of alluded to this, but doesn't Minnesota have to save some kind of minutes, save some kind of energy for Boston tomorrow? They can't go max out in this game. Orlando, they don't play again until Friday. They go balls to the wall in this game. They go all out.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'm not gonna lie. When I seen Boston was on the schedule, I was like, oh fuck this game. But then I started looking at more because you know why? Because it's a bummy ass card. So it's like I keep diving in. I'm like, man, fuck all that love for the Magic, man. Let me tell y'all something.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. Next game up, we'll go. I'm sorry. There was I can't skip past this because my guy took the time to do it, and it's really good. Itachi, he DM'd me a trend for the total in this game. He asked me to share it if I have time. So
shout out to you.
Let me put it up here on the screen.
I was thinking 217 is low, no?
And you guys can see this, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
we got that.
So this goes back to 2009. We're looking at home dogs after an overtime game. And the previous total, damn, I got to read this out. I think he's saying the total for the last game is greater than the total for this game by 15 plus points. So they made this total a little bit lower for a reason. 16-0 to the under, dating all the way back to 2009. All the results right there. It says to play Magic and Timberwolves under the total, and the market agrees. Market moved it from 220 down to 217. So Itachi, I appreciate you sharing that trend, and it was a really, really nice one. So I'll consider that.
That is,
Next game up,
but that under stood out to me too. But it's low.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it looks damn good. Blazers and Knicks opened up Knicks minus 11.5 up to 12.5. Total open 228. Looks like 229. And injury report for the Knicks, I don't see anybody on there. For the Blazers, Matisse Thybulle is game time decision. Jabari Walker Jr. is game time as well. Ayton is doubtful. And Moses Brown is going to be out. So let me come to you first, Babano, on this game. And the Knicks, since they made the trade, they've been pretty damn good. They've been the number one defensive rated team, and what have they won? I think 4 in a row. Every game that they played. They're also been a team that beats up on anybody who's not an elite team. And when I say elite, I mean a win percentage greater than 55%. That's what they're looking at in Portland today. Portland is also off an overtime game. Knicks have rest advantage. Is that enough for them to cover this game by 13 points?
I would certainly only take the Knicks here, and I probably will sprinkle on the -12. Something very, very. I mean, it's a big number. They do play Dallas on Friday night after this, which is a bigger game, but I don't trust the Blazers to stay relatively close to New York for 48 minutes. And look, I said probably after that trade was made with Toronto, as far as the Knicks are concerned, start betting on them and start betting under with this team. And you're 4-0 both ways. You're actually 8-0 combined if you've been betting Knicks and under in the 4 games since the trade that they got OG Anunoby. You're 4-0 with the Knicks ATS. You're 4-0 with the under in their games. They're just a better defensive team. This is the piece they wanted. They wanted improved defense. They know Thibodeau knew their defense slipped a little bit early part of the season, and OG has helped that. And there's better communication. There's better shot contesting. There's not as many breakdowns. Their fast break defense, transition defense has improved quite a bit. All of that is factored into them being a good defensive team here these last 4 games. OG Anunoby has made that much of a difference. And you look at it, they have held teams to 106 or fewer in those 4 straight games. And 2 of those were Minnesota and Philadelphia. Very good Wolves team and one of the better teams in the East in Philadelphia. Shut them down, with the defense of this Knicks team. So to me, I don't trust Portland right now to be able to penetrate and do enough damage against this New York team. The only question is focus for New York, because if they are focused, they can win this game by 15 or 20. Hell, we just see them beat down Washington 121-105 in their last game, which was actually very impressive because they just had a huge win against Philadelphia. There was no letdown for the Knicks. They pummeled a Washington team that they should pummel. 121-105. So what I'm going to do here is sprinkle a little bit on the Knicks. I think the Blazers team total under is probably a good look, and I think the full game under is probably a good look here in this game. And just buy into this Knicks defense, which since the trade has been right there as the top statistical defense in the NBA.
I like a lot of things that you said there, and I'm with you. I think the team total under for the Blazers is the way to go. Like you said, Knicks haven't given up more than 106.
And it's 108.5 with that Blazers team total. So there's value, I think. They haven't let anyone score more than that.
I agree. Dutch, I want to come to you here with this game. I mean, this should be a levels game, but damn, that spread is pretty large. So do you think the Knicks have been playing well enough to cover double digits?
Well, I mean, shit, bro. I really don't. I mean, I don't even really have to think it. They have. I mean, this four straight, right? Since they got the OG trade starting with the Minnesota, and then most recently, smacking around the Wizards, which everybody really does. But the average margin is 19 points per game in those 4. Right? The only team they didn't beat by double digits was, the first game. They beat Minnesota by 6. Outside of that, they've been smacking them. So, I mean, it's not something I want to do. I just don't like doing it. I mean, I just don't like laying these type of numbers. But they should smack these motherfuckers. Because, look, I mean, when Portland loses, I mean, they lose like, look at it. They lose by Dallas by 33 points, 36 points, excuse me. They do it again. Then 2 nights before that, they lost to Dallas by 29 points. And you lose by Phoenix, by double digits to a Phoenix. So it's just like when they lose, they get smacked the fuck around. They're losing some guys. I don't know, man. I guess I don't know. I'm a little scary, man. On a Tuesday, my ass might be going to church, but I shouldn't be though, because it feels like Knickerbockers, man. It really does feel like Knickerbockers. It was 11, now it's 12. I mean, I guess anything under 2 touchdowns should be good money.
I'll ask you, Wham Bam. Does New York really care about this game? I mean, they have the Mavs on deck. Brunson going back to play his old team. Do you think the Knicks care enough about this game to win by double digits, or could you possibly look at the Blazers?
But it's interesting because they are fresh enough. They haven't played in a while, right? So you would think they care because they ain't been able to get out there since the 6th. So, having those 2 days off, being able to get back to it, especially after winning, going up against another team where you think that there is just nothing but free stats on the other side there. So defense is not going to be really there for this team for Portland. They give it up, and you got all the looks here on your side. I think that I think they do care, but do they care about winning by this number? I don't think so, because this is one of those games where NBA players just laugh at you because you took them to take the 12 when they really didn't really care down the stretch, and they gave up because the bench players came in and were able to get it here. So I stay away from the actual side here. I stay away from the total, and I stay away from the all the way props here as well, because I don't know where it's going to come from on the Knicks side. I think it's still kind of new here. I think this is a good game. Like I said, stats are being accumulated, so maybe they wanted to pass it to the guys that's been struggling. Who knows which direction this shit goes. And on the other side there, Portland actually did give me some money last game because I got in on them on overtime when going against Brooklyn. So I don't know. Maybe they had a whole day off in Brooklyn. I'm sorry, in New York, chilling out there. Maybe they got a little New York vibe and think they could just conquer New York today. You know what I'm saying? And they could come here and come play nice. So I'm staying away from this game, but it is an interesting live spot, I would say. I would think if you see the Portland Trailblazers play up for this game, maybe they're live, and maybe I need to take advantage and taking Portland here. So that's the way my approach is going to be in this game. If I'm watching this, I'm going to be thinking towards Portland side on the live spot if they being competitive there.
Good stuff from Wham Bam, man. I think Dutch might have passed that over to Cheshire here. Cheshire is asking, he says, why are they called the Nickelbackers? He's, he said, is it because
right?
you
Nickel
back,
back some
he
shit
said,
that
is it because you back them because they make you nickels? The Knickerbockers. He
I'd
said,
have to get
but
you
then
a
he
hearing
said,
aid there, Cheshire Cat. Yeah.
he said he hasn't watched basketball much
It's
until
funny,
2021, so we'll give you a pass.
It's all
But
good. Yeah, I guess we'll give him a pass for that. But yeah, he does say a lot of dumb shit though, so I don't know.
Knickerbockers. That's
Tell me
how
about
is.
it. I got to deal with him for the hockey show too. The Ice Guys, that guy. I know all about it.
We appreciate the support.
We still love you, Cheshire.
Shout
We do.
out to you. Shout out to you. Lay you to
Next
death.
game up.
Kidding. Yeah.
545, 546. Memphis, Dallas. Opens up Dallas minus 4.5. We now see them as 8.5 point favorite. Total open 236.5. Coming a little bit back down, seeing 230, lowest 235 right now. Injury report. I see Luka game time, but very likely to play. Grant Williams also probable for this game. Exum, Maxi Kleba, and Lively all out. For Memphis, we do know John Morant is out for the season. Jaren Jackson Jr. is also game time decision here tonight. Adama is doubtful. Brandon Clark and Derrick Rose continue to be out. So I want to come to you here, Dutch, because I feel like it's another one of those Luka's going it looked like Luka's gonna play tonight, so you have that already. But looks like this is one of those level kind of plays. Let the people know what you're doing with Mavs versus Grizzlies.
I mean, I would like to really say that. I really would. I would like to say that, but I don't know. I don't know if I can say that right now because I feel like this is a big number. I feel like it's maybe a little bit overreaction, like if this game was lower, if the line was lower, I'd definitely be on Luka the motherfucking Don. The best thing going in the NBA, believe it. We talked a little about it yesterday. I mean, Shea or Luka, and Luka close. I mean, Shea's close, but hey, it's Luka leaps in motherfucking bounds, goddamn it.
It's funny, bro.
Especially because he plays point. But don't get me wrong, Shea nice. He real nice. But yeah, man, look at the motherfucking Don's gonna get his. But god damn it. I mean, the points, rebounds, and assists, it's crazy numbers. It's insane numbers, and he still gets there. So I mean, I'm not mad at anything with his name on it. But we talked about it. They do have a big game next against the Knicks, who've been playing big. I do think Luka gets the Mavs find their way to get this one done. But a little bit juiced, I feel like, from Ja not being in the lineup. They getting some guys back. They won 2 straight. It just seems like I could just feel Memphis hanging around in this basketball game and Luka doing what it does to get it done at the end when it's money time. I don't know. I just don't see them running away against now Triple J's out. I mean, that could be why the number's high. But to me, this seems like a little bit overreaction. That number's pretty fucking inflated against the Memphis team. Who has been bad without Ja, but they got their guys back. They got Smart in the line. I believe they're gonna compete. At least compete. That doesn't mean they don't lose by double digits. I'm just saying I do believe I think they'll be out there rebounding and playing defense. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I feel like we'll find a lot better spots to bet on Luka.
Sound like my boy's in church, man. Sound like he's in church. But
I told you I didn't like the card, bro. Like, I like the total -5, Dallas -9. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah, this shit is
Wham bam.
Knicks 12.
Let me ask you here. It's a big line move here. So we don't like to grab the ass end of the line. I have a feeling you're not gonna look at the spread. The total though, I don't know. Maybe you don't look at the total. Let me talk to you like this. It's a lot to be made up with Ja out the lineup. Who is it going to be? Is it Bane? Is it Marcus Smart? Who's picking up the slack tonight for the Grizzlies? And are you looking that direction in the prop market?
Man, they about to roll over, man. They probably gonna roll over here. They not at home. They playing on the road. They just got the news that Ja is out for the season. They already lost a lot of people already out for the season. First off, they lost him for the first 25 games, knowing that he was there alone the whole time, hyping him up, letting them know, like, man, as soon as I come back, we're going to go crazy. As soon as he came back, they went crazy. Now they come back and they really, it's nasty. And it's against a team that's getting healthy. Oh, man. I can only think Dallas here. I haven't took this at all, bro. I really want to talk to y'all about this too, because this has seemed too easy. And when shit is too easy, you just want to just stay away from it. And that reason being is the reason why I don't want to take Marcus Smart. I want to be Marcus Smart, just like our guy McDonald said up in the chat here. Bill McDonald, he said Marcus Smart props. He has to be the guy. And I want to say Marcus Smart, man. I want to say his assists. I want to say he sets Bane up for shots. It's just, man, I just don't trust this team to really have that morale, especially on the road. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if it was at the house, their first game was being back at the house, it probably would make more sense for me to back Memphis here. I don't want to do it at all. So I might be in church like Dutch here, bro. I think this is a game that, I might have to watch and see what type of morale we got going on with the Grizzlies. Especially, we know, and I'm not gonna lie too. If this was a better team, I would definitely be fading the Grizzlies. But the Dallas Mavericks, bro, I don't trust them either, bro. I don't give a fuck. As much as I know Luka is supposed to be the guy and all this shit. He's supposed to go crazy. He probably don't give a fuck about this game either. So I'm gonna stay away from this game all the way around, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I definitely wish I had another angle here, but I can't tell y'all to take this -8, -9. Like you said, the ass end of the line on top of this is just probably a bad morale spot for the damn Memphis Grizzlies. So I don't even want to tell you to take no props there either. But Marcus Smart probably has to do it though. If you really like anybody, Bane and Smart, those only guys, other than that, who else you got? Santi Alderman even out. There's no way.
It's tough game to bet. But Bano, I definitely do feel like Memphis is deflated right now. Has this line moved too much, or is there still any value on Dallas in this matchup?
For the full game, maybe it has, but I actually like Dallas first half in this game. I think you can make a solid case for that, which is around -4.5 here with the Mavericks in the first half. First of all, you're talking about one of the worst first half teams in the NBA, Memphis, 11-25 against the spread in the first half this year. Absolutely awful. So they have had problems starting games all season long. And if there's ever going to be a game where they're even more in trouble as far as getting off to a good start. It's going to be the mental and emotional toll of just finding out John Morant's season has come to an end less than 24 hours ago. So they've been a bad first half team. Dallas has actually covered the first half spread 8 of their last 10 games coming into tonight. They've actually led the majority of their recent first halves as well. So you put those two factors together, and the fact that Dallas, I think, as far as the full game, 9, it's getting up there a little bit. I think the first half's just a much better option if you're going to bet Dallas. And given the first half trends, Memphis bad first half all season, Dallas good first half, especially lately. I think you can make a case for Mavs first half. So that is a play for me. I like it. Dallas first half -4.5.
All right, good stuff. Babano getting involved, get in and get out with the Mavs first half. Nice work. We'll move on over to the last game on the slate, and that is 5:47, 5:48. Toronto Raptors heading into LA. This game opens up Lakers -5. They are down to 4.5. Total open 230.5. We're looking at 236.5 right now. Injury report: Otto Porter is doubtful. Koloko and Pirtle both out for the Raptors. For the Lakers, Vincent remains out. Rui is doubtful. Anthony Davis and LeBron both game time decision. So I'm coming to you, Wham Bam. Lakers got off the snide versus the Clippers. Maybe found a little things that were working as far as, getting Vanderbilt to move when they're not respecting them and things of that nature. Toronto also has looked pretty good since they made that trade. So do you think the Lakers deserve to be favorites in this game? And can you get to the window with them?
5 out of the last 6 meetings has been over spot for these two meetings here. We've seen this Toronto Raptors team since they made that trade just been really up and down the floor. Quickly has been really high tempo. Barrett has been really rejuvenized. Now that he doesn't have to worry about fucking what they say on Twitter, like that. Now he doesn't have to worry about Julius Randle taking 30 shots a game and some shit like that. And not being efficient. So yeah, I think it's an over spot here. The only thing that stops me from taking the Lakers though is because I don't think that their defense is going to show up in this game. And that's the way they need to win. They need to win by defense. I don't think they're going to be able to stop this long athletic team that just love playing with each other now. That just got all these new toys. They can just keep running it up. And I think that's the type of vibes you're going to get Toronto. I like Toronto here, to be honest with you. The only thing that's stopping me from taking them is because they probably been chilling though. The only stopping me from having players that play against the Lakers is they may be on some bullshit when they come out here. They may be fucking with the hoes on Fig. They may be taking some damn, you know what I'm saying? They may be taking some drugs, you know what I'm saying, that they supposed to be doing. No. You know what I mean? Hopefully not. I'm hoping not, but
don't take that corner.
I know, I'm just saying that always has to be in the back of your head because they like to go crazy here. But I think they are very responsible individuals. I'm hoping so. And again, I said that before. This total has been going over so far in the series anyway. I don't think that has to change at all, especially when this team has been going over recently since they new trade. And I think the Lakers have to be they have to know that the only way they're going to win this game is by scoring. They're not going to be able to beat this team by playing defense. They got to be able to score just as much as they are. So I like the over here. The only thing that I haven't took here because it's a late game. You know how it is. It got a little bit more early action today. And we're going to see how it plays out. But I like the later action to go over for this Laker team. So over 236.5 is the way I'm leaning right now.
And that makes sense to me. I'm sliding to you here next, Babano. We talked about which directions we think these teams between the Knicks and the Raptors would be heading after they made this trade. And it looks like, we said a lot of good things. Raptors have been playing faster. Do you think they continue to play up tempo here tonight? And also, to Wham Bam's point, they get another night in LA. They play the Clippers tomorrow. So do you think this is another one of those over spots, Babano?
I mean, if I had just, put the 401k and unloaded on my opinions on the Knicks coming out of that trade and the Raptors coming out of that trade, I don't know if I've lost a bet yet, quite honestly. Because what did I say about the Knicks? Knicks and under, all Knicks ATS and all unders for them. And look at the Raptors in reverse. I said Toronto's probably going to get a bump and an uptick in their performance from this trade with Barrett and Quickly coming on board. And sure enough, they're 3-0-1 against the spread since the trade. And there was a push with the Sacramento game. And the only reason they didn't cover and win that game was because Sacramento shot that 55% from three-point range, which was unheard of, or else the Raptors would have won that game on Friday night. So they've covered every game just about, and the overs cashed in every game since the trade for the Toronto Raptors. I mean, they're playing with breakneck pace. They're getting that ball up and down the court as fast as possible, getting the first shot they can find, playing with great fluidity, great pace, great tempo. And look, they fit in nicely, both of them, Quickly and Barrett. And look at the way it's filtered down to the other guys. Gary Trent's suddenly making shots. Dennis Schroeder has played great, since the trade. Facilitating and his shot making have been a factor for this Raptors team. It's almost like the harmony offensively is off the chart right now. Siakam's been solid. We know Scotty Barnes is going to deliver for them. I mean, they have been a great, not just a good, they have been a great offensive team since the trade. I mean, they've been absolutely phenomenal scoring the basketball. Now, can this keep on going indefinitely? There's probably going to be a regression and a bump at some point, but no, right now, I mean, they have been a terrific offensive team, and it's resulted in 4 overs since the trade. And I think that probably continues tonight. The Lakers, credit to them, snapped that ugly losing streak against the Clippers with that big 106-103 win, snapped the 4-game losing streak. But this is a team that's still 4-10 straight up since the in-season tournament. So that's absolutely terrible. And now they're laying, 4.5, 5 points here in this game against a Raptors team that, or 2.5, I should say, in this game, or no, it is 4.5, 5. Look at the first half number, 4.5, the Lakers here, after coming off a huge win against the Clippers, a team I don't trust as far as consistency right now, this Lakers team. You got the Raptors that probably should have beat Sacramento. They absolutely destroyed Golden State. That was a wire-to-wire beatdown. They led that game start to finish on Sunday night against Golden State. So they're playing with great harmony right now. The offense is terrific. I think the Lakers are going to struggle. Pirtle's out, but that's going to probably be good for the over, even more, because Boucher will take that spot, and he's a more athletic, quicker 5-spot center for this Raptors team. I think that probably quickens things up as well. So it's going to be a little smaller, faster, quicker lineup for the Raptors even more without Jakob Pirtle in there. So I like the Raptors here to keep it close, get in the 4.5, 5. And I'm back on the over once again with the Raptors as well. Now, unfortunately, everyone is onto this now because this has been a huge move, 230.5 up to 236.5. But I still think there's value. I think Raptors games with the pace they're playing at and the offensive precision they're playing with, their games can go easily into the 240s and even 250s on any given night with the way they're playing right now, with the pace, with the shot making, with the fluidity at the offensive end of the basketball court. So I have no problem betting the bad number, even though it's gone up to 236, 236.5. So Raptors and over. I really like both.
And I think those are two good looks. Like I said, I wouldn't be betting the Lakers, so that means I would only look towards the Raptors. They've been playing really good basketball since these new additions have come over, and I'm with you on the over. I don't think it's high enough. I know Dutch is not touching total, so I know I can go ahead and say a couple more numbers here. But pace-wise, when they had OG in the lineup this season, it was 98.03. Without him on the season, it's 99.19. The 4 games since they traded him away and added RJ and Quickly, the pace is at 101.23. So it just backs up everything we're seeing and everything we've said. And not only just the pace, they're playing good basketball. I mean, looking at the last 2 games, 38 assists, 31 assists, that's a sign of a team that's playing really good hoops. So I would only look towards the Raptors, and I do like that over. Dutch, I know you can't wait for any chance you can get to fade the Lakers. I know you ran to the window with this one.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Shout out to HVAC girl. Yeah, man. Billy was on one yesterday.
God,
we can only allow so much. He's our guy. But, you can only allow so much. God damn it. So yeah, you ain't getting in the car with that shit on. Believe that. But yeah. Back to this game. We the North, man. Toronto Raptors. I believe are to play. Missed out on the 5.5. Got the 5. I think they live to win this basketball game. So, any points, I think, you could go to the window with it, to be quite honest with you. The Lakers, man, I mean, they ain't been that good. Bobano touched on, everybody kind of touched on it. They lost 5 out of the last 6 up until this Laker game, or excuse me, the Clipper game, with their only win being the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, they're just not that good of a basketball team. They can't buy a fucking 3-point bucket. These guys, there's a lot of talks in the locker room. Who's going to be moved? LBJ going nowhere, obviously, and AD going to be right there. But anyone else, man, I don't know why. I don't know why Austin Reeves seems to be untouchable. But in my opinion, anybody should be moved outside of LBJ and AD to get this team some consistent shooting, because they don't got it. So this isn't a good basketball team, and you got them where they put all their eggs in one basket, in my opinion, in beating the Clippers. I mean, the writing was kind of on the wall. The whole world was on at 5.5. The Lakers, that was a big game for them. Shout out to LBJ with that dunk on PG. I mean, that shit was nasty from where he took off. So I mean, the king is the king, and he'll get his. But I think Toronto, man, young, hungry basketball team. A lot's been said about them. Don't got to say too much more. I think they're competitive, live to win this game. And I think simply just knock down. They have trouble too with the perimeter. So knock down the perimeter shot a little bit more consistent quickly. Obviously, is going to help that. And RJ Barrett's been playing lights the fuck out. And again, Trent, little guys back in the rotation. So it's not as bad as it once was, honestly, from the perimeter. So hopefully they can knock it down on a consistent basis and get out of LA with a W.
Hey, man. All I can say is, with my boy Nucky, is everyone on the Raptors?
And I know they have the Clippers tomorrow night, but it's the Laker brand, right? You get up to play the Lakers. You still get up to play the Lakers, even though they're mediocre this year.
And people are scary because 64% money line on the Lakers. So people are betting the Lakers. They just I'm laying the 5. Fuck that. But they think LBJ win this game. They do.
Line moving towards the Raptors, though. It's at 4.5 some spots. You know what I'm saying? So it was at 5.
Quickly over points, rebounds, and assists. I like in this game.
58% of the public is on the Raptors. Against the spread. So people, it's definitely not. More people on.
Probably a good live game too, though. It's probably a good live game, though, too. I'll say. Shout out to Tiffany.
Yeah, nice to see you.
I mean, this to me is the same feel of the Grizzlies 2 nights ago, a couple nights ago. They was getting 4.5 against the Lakers. Get the fuck out of here, man. The Grizzlies playing not good basketball, really, and they go in there and beat them by 16. It's just I feel the same way. I feel like Toronto's playing better basketball than Memphis, and they could beat them by 16. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I mean, they could definitely win this basketball game. So we're getting all these points. Let's go.
One thing I'll say is, prior to that last game, the Lakers played versus the Clippers, Darvin Ham mentioned that they had a film session, and he opened up the room for everybody to talk about, what's going on and what can change for us to be better. And he said it was a very good session that they had, and they went out there and won the game as an underdog. So we'll see if it carries over in this game versus the Raptors. That is the slate for Tuesday. And per usual, we'll take a quick look at Wednesday's card, quick look ahead. And Babano, I usually come to you. We do have a good amount of games on deck for tomorrow. Are there any that catch your attention?
Yeah, right now, San Antonio, Detroit, maybe the over there. Nothing really. Probably for the side. That's a tricky one with Detroit on the back-to-back. There will be spots for Detroit. I'm not sure it'll be tomorrow. Washington, Indiana, certainly over or nothing. And the over's already been hit in that game. I could see a lot of points. 2 of the biggest over teams this year and worst defensive teams this year going head-to-head there, Wizards and Pacers. No line on Sacramento, Charlotte. If Charlotte was any good, I'd probably – it's a nice spot for them with Sacramento playing tonight, but I don't know if I can trust them. Minnesota, Boston's a big game. We'll see how it goes for Minnesota tonight. Philadelphia, Atlanta. I know Atlanta at home, they're slight favorites, but kind of think Philly better team. I'd be interested in Philly. Oklahoma City, Miami is probably by default Oklahoma City or pass. Although I will say this, they haven't been great against the number the last few games, Oklahoma City. So we'll see how that one goes. Maybe that one goes over the total as well because the Thunder have played some overs lately. Houston, Chicago. I don't have a strong take there right now. New Orleans, Golden State, no line. Denver, Utah. Utah's been sneaky covering numbers, although last night Milwaukee kind of, laid down once they got down big, I should say, last night. Denver -6.5. I don't know, but I lean that way. And then Raptors, Clippers. Now I like the Raptors tonight. I don't know if I'll like them tomorrow night. Clippers are playing well. It is a back-to-back. I will be on that over, though, 100% with Raptors, Clippers tomorrow night. I'll be back to the well again with another Toronto over, especially if it's still undefeated after tonight, which I expect it will.
Nice.
Urbano always handles that look ahead very well. Good stuff. We'll slide to you, Wham Bam. Like I said to Urbano, a lot of stuff to choose from out there tomorrow. We don't have lines for every game, but we have lines for enough. Is there anything that, catching your attention?
Obviously, the first thing that catch my eye is the Atlanta at the house. We know that at the house in the first half is where we've been cashing, and we're going to continue to cash there. We're going to go where, especially if they have Embiid doubtful right now. So looks like that's a good spot to take. And other than that, I like Boston first half too. And then maybe we go back to the well with Caillou because they overinflated his number last game at 19.5 points. What they had it at, he didn't get nowhere near that shit last game. So maybe they put it down to more reality. And we got to check in and see what that number looks like for Derek White points total against Minnesota, especially since we know that they're coming off a back-to-back. So Boston should have the advantage in the first half too. So I like that first half with Boston and maybe Caillou points there. Obviously, it's a back-to-back for Sacramento. Like I said, it's a road-to-road. If you want to fade them against Charlotte. I don't think you should fade them against Charlotte, though. I think they may still be able to hold it down. See what type of dominance we see tonight. See how tough this game is today. Then going to have to look into that next game with Hornets there. But OKC against Miami, that's an interesting game, too, especially since OKC failed to cover last game. We're able to get the W, but failed to cover. I think they are still going to be able to win this game, though. So I'm going to look into that game. And then also Denver Nuggets against Utah. That game is interesting to me too, because I think that you may be able to find some good props in that game. So I'm going to be looking at props there, but I'm definitely number one spot, obviously, ATL. Shout out to EQ. You say you fucking with the ATL. Yeah, we ATL first half, Boston first half. That's what we rocking with tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, that Atlanta first half if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also looking towards Boston. I forgot to mention before, but I should have probably mentioned, but I did see while we were talking on this show that and I'll just pull it up here, but I think Tatum not on the injury report tomorrow, but Holiday, Horford, and Porzingis, are all game time decision, are all questionable for tomorrow. So you would want them in there for the Boston play, correct?
Honestly, it was more so just a spot play there. ATS is like 8-2 ATS in the first half at the house. So it's more some spot plays. Plus, I would expect them to have an advantage coming off of a back-to-back for the Timberwolves. That's where I was mostly thinking about, not necessarily about the injury report. But again, we got to look into all that stuff. It's not official right now. But yeah, I do want some of those guys in, but maybe that's strong. That make me a little bit more stronger to Derek White after you saying all that.
All right. Time to slide over to you here, Dutchie. Lot to choose from. What's catching your eye?
God damn, man. We get these motherfuckers so much. Y'all want to get in tomorrow, too. Now y'all making me think about me having to break down all these games first thing in the morning. Y'all want to know what I'm being? Check me out on betting with the motherfucking bag tomorrow, God damn it. About 10:30 Pacific time. I'll be live for about an hour plus.
Promote it.
Promo
time.
Breaking them down in detail, God damn it. But I will tell you, since y'all motherfuckers just love to do this part of the show, Utah Jazz, man, take note, motherfucker. Most profitable team at the crib. I know they're coming back from a road trip, but they're playing good basketball. I think they play, I will be on Utah at the crib. I'm not going to, I'm not going to break that bitch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Utah at the house is good money. I'll be looking at the Pelicanos. Because Golden State's a fucking fade, man. Let's be real. Pelicanos, I'll be looking at them. And I kind of like Chicago because Houston's been a fade on the road. We'll look a little bit more into that, but that stands out to me as well. Don't go to the window with the Bulls too often, but it seems like somewhat of a short number. And I don't trust Houston. You know, I looked at Miami last night. I think Chicago could do the same damn thing to the Rockets.
All right, that's Dutchie's look ahead to tomorrow. And for myself, let me just go down in order and see what stands out here. San Antonio, Detroit. Detroit also playing tonight. I would be looking towards San Antonio in that game. Washington, Indiana. Don't feel strong. Hallie is out, so I'm absolutely not laying 7.5 with Indiana. It'll be Washington or pass, I guess, for me in that game. Charlotte, Sacramento, no line. Don't really want anything to do with them anyway. Boston, Minnesota. I think Boston can still get the job done. And I'd probably I mean I need a line, but I want to try to bet Boston some way, shape, or form. Atlanta, Philly, want to try to continue to think Atlanta can be profitable when Jalen Johnson is in the lineup. So lean towards them. I know first half has been the way. Wham Bam has been on top of that. That could probably be a way to go. OKC, Miami. OKC hasn't been playing the best. 3.5 is not the tallest ask. So I will probably need a little bit more time with that game. But yeah, I need more time. Houston and Chicago. I'm not betting Chicago. I know that. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're off an overtime game, and it was a little bit more that I was thinking before it got to me. But I would look towards Houston to pass, especially catching points there. Not going to be on New Orleans and Golden State most likely. Utah and Golden State. I mean Utah and Denver. I agree with Dutchy. I mean I've been backing Utah almost every game since they got healthy, and they continue to put money in my pocket for it. So Utah or pass, and Toronto Clippers. I'm likely not going to be involved in that game. If I was, it would be with the total and looking to bet it up and over. So that's the look ahead for tomorrow. Got a good head start for your homework. And now it's that time of the show where we go around the horn again and see what's the way to get paid today. So I'm coming to you here, Wham Bam, per usual. Have a feeling it's going to be a prop. How can the people get paid tonight?
All right, man. We got to go with the guy himself, Paolo Banchero. We going all the way back to January 2nd. Ever since this year started, he's been going over his points, rebounds, and assists, which is at 42.5 points today. That was against the Warriors, Kings, Nuggets, and Hawks. Today, they got to go up against a little bit more of a tougher task, but it's all good. Again, in defense, Gobert and all them boys. So it is a little bit inflated there. It's going down at 41.5. You see in some places, but I'm not worried about it. I'm at 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Paolo Banchero got nobody to help him, so he got to do it all on his own. So let's go, Paolo, today. Points, rebounds, and assists. Over.
Good stuff. I had a feeling that was the direction you would go in. Paolo is going to get my guy to the window. Coming to you next, Bavano, and I don't think you're looking at a prop. I think you're going with a total. Let the people know what you think is the best way to get paid tonight.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 4 overs for the Toronto Raptors since the trade. We're going back to that well once again. And I've got a better number than what's out there right now. I don't give two shits about that. This is still low, in my opinion, even at the current number. So let's go ahead and take the Toronto Raptors, LA Lakers, over 236 for best bet.
And I like that too. But I want to try to give you guys a little something different here for the show. So for me, I'm gonna go with an addition. I'm gonna go with an addition that I'm making after the show here, and that is gonna be Minnesota and Orlando. Will go under 217. I believe is the best number you can get here. Our guy Itachi gave us a nice 16-0 trend. That's why we should look towards this under. Both teams bottom 10 in pace the last 5 games. Both defenses better than the offenses in that same span, and both teams top 10 defending the 3. So I think that all equals less points. Dutch, I'm going to come to you. Let the people know what the best way to get paid is, and take us home.
Yeah, man, let's go. We're going to La La, man. We're going to La La Land. We the North got it at 5, 4.5. Good money, man. Toronto Raptors win outright. But take the points, man. We'll play it safe. Take the motherfucking points. Shout out to all the real ones in the chat. Shout out to Little Wham Bam. Happy motherfucking birthday to the little man. All the real ones. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Big shout out to J Mac, Nucky Green, DK, Dan Kelly, J Ty, everyone in the chat, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, and once again, share that video. Stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.